Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining Twarna's webinar on enhancing your SCA web store with extensions. My name is Tina Chandra, and I run marketing activities for Twarna. I'm responsible for running campaigns, creating collateral, managing our social media platforms, creating strategies to promote our products and services, and raising brand awareness. Now that I've introduced myself, let me give you a quick overview of our company. We started out consulting in NetSuite and Salesforce in 2007, but have since evolved to provide support, managed services, and integration services for NetSuite and Salesforce clients. We also have designed and built solutions for the NetSuite platform with the intent of extending its functionalities. Our suite apps cover a wide range of industries and address every business need, and you can find them on suiteapp.com under the search term Twarna. Let me now introduce our presenter for today, Athra Nair. Athra leads Twarna's e-commerce practice and has almost a decade of hands-on experience with Suite Commerce Advanced, Site Builder, and Core NetSuite. Athra and her team are responsible for building, maintaining, and upgrading SCA websites. Our webinar today will be taking you through the basics of extensions, how you use them to improve the functionality of your e-commerce site, and how to find useful extensions on the NetSuite marketplace. Athra, let's start with introducing our audience to SCA extensions.
Sure, Tina. Hi, everyone. The extension framework and the extensibility API have been available since the 2018.1 Aconcagua version of the Suite Commerce platform. This change in architecture makes it easier for developers to plug in new customizations and ensure version-to-version stability, and to enable business users to make changes to their website without changing a line of code. In order to properly explain extensions, we must first understand SCA architecture at a high level and how things were structured before extensibility came into being. Up until the Kilimanjaro release, customizations to your SCA web store used techniques that involved editing the source code that was shipped with the base NetSuite bundles. This approach to customization is powerful and it offers a number of benefits. However, it also came with a bunch of problems, such as difficulty in upgrading websites from one version to another, difficulty in maintaining code, mixing together code and functionality and design, etc. And from a partner perspective, it also made it difficult for us to build modules that could be easily installed in different accounts. This meant that we had to develop code separately for each client account, driving up costs of development for both us and the clients. If your company uses a pre-Aconcagua version of SCA, you also probably know that unless you have an in-house developer, you have to rely on a partner or an outside developer to make even the smallest changes to the functionality of your website. And if you're a small business, the cost to keep your website updated add up and often become prohibitive.
Athra, you spoke about some of the challenges that business owners face when it comes to making even minor alterations to their SCA sites. How can we make this easier?
The extensibility framework goes a long way towards solving these problems. But before we proceed any further, there are a few terms that you all must understand. The first is the extensibility API, which is a set of functions that offers access to key parts of a web store via standardized objects and methods. These objects and methods remain stable across different websites and different versions of the platform, so it becomes possible to write modular code that can be ported easily between different accounts, different websites, as well as across different versions of the Suite Commerce platform. The extensibility API is a logical layer between NetSuite Suite Commerce code and customization specific to your website. As you can see in the diagram right here, the Suite Commerce core code and the extensibility API together are the Suite Commerce platform. And the extension manager and your themes and extensions are specific to your NetSuite account. Now, you could compare the extensibility API to the SuiteScript API, which you're probably aware about, which is used to extend and customize core functionality of the NetSuite platform. The API set will keep growing in each and every release as NetSuite adds functions that can add more functionality in different areas of the web store. The next term that you should know about is extensions, which are packaged up modules of code that can be installed in your NetSuite account and activated and deactivated as needed. Extensions are like bundles in core NetSuite. In fact, they ship as actual bundles to your account. And just like bundles, they can be installed, versioned, and upgraded easily. And they are also modular. They add functionality on top of web stores and can be bundled and distributed using Suite Bundler. The third term is something I'm sure you're all familiar with. They are themes, which are a kind of extension that cover an entire website and can be used to change a website's look and feel, and can also be swapped out as a whole.
So, in what way can extensions help business owners using SCA for their e-commerce, Athara?
Well, for one, they separate the look and feel of the website from the functionality. You no longer have to rely on a SCA developer to make changes to the theme of your site. You can do it yourself. Also, if you build your customizations as extensions and don't make any changes to the core code of the website, then upgrades become way smoother and easier. You can also choose to activate, deactivate, and upgrade the extensions on your website yourself. So as you can see from the table here, the extensibility framework has made a huge difference to the way SCA works. Before the framework came into picture, the customizations were mixed in with core code, which led to a lot of effort when you had to upgrade your website or you had to make any kind of new customizations or enhancements. And after the API came into picture, extensions or customizations can be layered on top of core code, which makes it way easier for you to upgrade to new versions of SCA. In fact, if you have Suite Commerce and not Suite Commerce Advanced, you automatically get upgraded with each new release. And that's because you don't have an option to change core code in the Suite Commerce platform. You have to make your customizations only as extensions. And so your core code stays untouched, which is why NetSuite can automatically upgrade you. And from a partner perspective, it also makes it easy for us to reuse code. We can write customizations as extensions and port them between different accounts, bringing down development costs and maintenance expenses as well. And it's also easy to deploy new customizations as extensions. All we have to do is code it and activate it, and we no longer have to worry about the code changing per version because extensibility APIs are backward compatible.
One access these extensions.
So you can install extensions in your account as bundles, but once the bundle is deployed to your account, the extension is not automatically applied to your website. It must be activated manually first. You can use the extension manager to do this, and it lets you view, activate, deactivate all of the extensions and themes on your website. Extensions must be activated per domain. So if you have a single website with multiple domains, you will need to go through the activation process once per domain. Let me show you how that works in a minute. Okay, so I'm logged into one of our demo accounts as an administrator. You don't have to be an administrator to do this, but you do need to have a role that gives you permissions for the Suite Commerce navigations. Go to Setup Suite Commerce Advanced and scroll all the way down to the bottom. You can see the extension manager here. Click on that. Just give it a moment to load. And you can see that we have one website set up, and you can see different aspects of the website right here, what the theme is, what the subsidiary is, the domain, as well as any active extensions, and also make a note of the status column right here. We will return to that later. So click on Edit. And here it is. You can see all of the themes and extensions that are active on this particular domain right now. So I'm going to go click on themes. We have a number of themes installed. Right now, it is the Horizon theme that is activated, but I could choose to activate another one, say Bridge, and all I have to do is check the checkbox and click the Activate button, and it will switch the theme over. And if I click on the Extensions tab, you can see that all of the extensions are listed, but also you can see some themes as well. And that's because, like I said earlier, themes are a subtype of extension, so you'll see both in this tab. Now you can see other details as well. For example, who is the publisher of this particular extension? What is the version that you have installed in this account? Is there an update available? And if it is available, you can choose to update the bundle by checking the update checkbox. You can view the update status here and also read a description that is published by the vendor. So say, for example, I want to enable the special promotions and categories extension right here. So I check that checkbox and then I click on activate. And then this will automatically kick off a process that will make the changes that I want. So you can see that the status is now changed to pending. And once I refresh it, it should show as in progress. There it is. So that's the extension manager.
Okay. Can you also tell our audience how to find extensions that are already built and available for purchase or for free?
Sure. So there are a few different places you can look for them. The first is suiteapp.com, which is NetSuite's marketplace for pretty much any app related to NetSuite. So go to suiteapp.com and click on the search button. And here you see the Buy Business Needs section. Scroll to the bottom and select Suite Commerce Extensions. You can see that there are 28 results here right now. This number will probably go up as NetSuite or third-party partners add more apps here. You can see that there are different apps available. Some of these are for purchase, some of these are for free, and some of these are made by NetSuite, and others are made by third-party partners. So I look into each one and say I want the Suite Commerce size chart. I think that looks interesting. So I click into the Suite app page. I can read about it as well as detailed features, technical specs. You can even read about the partner and so on. And if you're interested in the app, you can click on the contact partner, on the contact partner button, and you can get the bundle provision for your account if it's a free bundle. If it is a paid bundle, then you can work with the partner to get you a demo and pricing and so on. So that's the first place you can find extensions. The second place is the Suite Answers portal. So if you don't know how to get to Suite Answers, go to support and click on the Go to Suite Answers link. It takes a little while to load, so I have it preloaded already. And look for answer ID 76381. There it is. It's called Commerce Extensions. You can search for the article name as well, but it's easier to search for the answer ID. Here it is, 76381. And scroll down to the available extensions section. You can see that currently there are 31 results, and these are all extensions that were built by NetSuite. There's a bundle ID available for each one, and there's also related documentation, which is all of the details about the extension. And not all extensions are compatible with all versions of the platform, so make sure you read through the compatible with column to understand whether this will work for you or not. Now, the third one is more visual. It is the SC extensions.suitestore.us website. So load that up. And you can see that there are several extensions that have been listed here by NetSuite. You can click into any one of these to view them in action. Or you can click on the All Extensions info and read through this page. So say I'm interested in the blog and I want to see it in action. Click here on this link. It will load up a page that will show you exactly what the blog extension will look like. So here it is. If you need to add a blog to your website, all you have to do is install this extension by NetSuite, activate it for your domain, and start adding content. As easy as that.
Can we now talk about extensions that you and your Sweet Commerce team have developed?
Sure. So we've built out several extensions that mostly started out as business requirements by clients. So we build them out for that particular client, and if we feel that they can be used by others as well, we widen the scope and build it out to fit broader requirements. The first one I'd like to talk about is address completion. Let's see. Yep, there it is. So as you type in your address in checkout, the Google APIs automatically suggest your address. And this is very common on e-commerce websites these days. Pretty much any site you shop on will have this feature because really customers don't want to type out their entire address. They want to be able to quickly type it in and have it suggested and complete checkout. So one, this is a great improvement on user experience. During checkout, it'll help you convert more. And also, it'll bring down your cost because shipping carriers will no longer have to charge you to correct mistyped addresses. The second one, again, is something very common. It's the social media sign up. Your customers can use their Facebook, Google, Amazon, or Twitter accounts to log into your website or to sign up to your website. They don't have to create a password specific to your website. It just ties into their social media account of choice. And this also has the added benefit of giving you basic information about your customers' social media profile, which is really important to marketing. The third one is very B2B focused. You can set up delivery schedules for your customers and create delivery slots. And you can allow customers to pick one or more delivery slots while they're placing an order. And as you can see from the screenshot, it also shows you a countdown of cutoff time if you want to make that delivery slot. This provides a very Amazon Whole Foods-like experience for those who have used it in the US, and it makes it very easy for your customers to schedule deliveries to themselves. The next one is product personalization. In this particular example, it's logo embroidery on a t-shirt. You can allow your customers to upload their own logo or their own images and specify the positioning of that image on your product. In this case, we're uploading a logo and specifying that we want it positioned on the back or the left chest or the right sleeve and so on. And once the customer adds this, it follows them through the checkout. It gets saved in the sales order and can be passed on to your production team. And the last one I'd like to talk about in detail is a trend that has picked up popularity, especially in 2020. And this particular extension also ties into our backend subscriptions billing engine, which is basically a billing engine built entirely on NetSuite. This extension allows your customers to sign up for subscriptions on your website. They can sign up, they can view all of their subscriptions. They can also change frequency, quantity. They can put their extension on hold or cancel their subscription if needed as well. We have many other extensions built out as well, as you can see on the screen right now. We don't have the time to go through each one of these in detail, but we will include a small blurb about each one in the follow-up email after this webinar.
Tara, for walking us through those extensions. For the benefit of our audience, I would like to briefly touch on a few of Twarna's Sweet Commerce offerings. First, our team has extensive experience in helping companies both implement brand new websites or port websites to SCA from platforms like Magento or Shopify. We do not, however, offer design services, but work with design teams to guide them on best practices for SCA. We perform version upgrades for SCA, which may require full re-implementation for versions before Aconcagua, and patch upgrades for more recent versions. We review websites to find and fix weak points for improved user experience, better search engine ranking, and greater engagement. We also conduct performance audits on websites as well as the underlying NetSuite platform in order to improve page speeds. We train client teams on how to utilize their new SCA websites to its fullest potential and teach them to perform basic maintenance when needed. And finally, we function as the website management team for clients on a retainer basis to map out enhancements for their websites, fix any issues, maintain websites, and perform twice a year pre-release testing. So if you think you may be in need of any of these services, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Our team of seasoned professionals is capable of serving the full spectrum of your e-commerce needs. Now, with that out of the way, let's circle back to extensions. Athra, a quick question to you. Can customizations to your website be done entirely using extensions?
It depends. While NetSuite is constantly working on expanding their API set, there are still functionalities that have not been made available to the extensibility layer. If you have an SCA website, you can still customize the source code and add the functionality you need. But if you have a Sweet Commerce website, then that option is not available to you since the bundles are locked and you can't really make any changes to the core code. Now, if you have a customization requirement that needs to be built out as an extension, but is not available to the extensibility API yet, what you can do is write to NetSuite and file an enhancement request. If there are enough requests from enough clients, then NetSuite will pick up the requirement, build it out, and add it in a future release. Now, it's also not possible to list out whether a particular thing is possible to do with an extension or not. So if you do have a requirement that needs a custom extension to be built, then the best thing to do is to reach out to an SCA developer who can perform a feasibility study and can give you an effort estimate of costs and a timeline.
Okay, but what about websites that run on pre-Aconcagua versions?
So websites that are on pre-Aconcagua versions will not support extensions since they predate the extensibility framework. Customizations to these websites will still need to be done the old-fashioned way by altering the source code of the native bundles. The other option is to upgrade your website to the latest version of SCA. It's up to clients to weigh the pros and cons and decide whether they want to upgrade the website to the latest version.
Okay, thanks once again, everyone, for joining us this afternoon and taking time out of your day to participate in our webinar. If you're not already doing so, please follow us on social media. And I'm going to put up our contact information on the screen should you have any questions regarding this webinar or any of our services and Suite apps. We have team members across the globe to help facilitate your needs. Thank you once again. Have a good afternoon and see you at our next session. Thanks, Athra.
Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.